It's the Metro Athletics Car Conference Championships between the Kane Blues and the Harry Ainlay Titans. Hello everyone, welcome to Clark Stadium. I'm Connor Toffin, joined by Rob Harrod. Rob, this is really a story today of an underdog, maybe a bit of David versus Goliath here. A team that's here every year, facing off against a team that wasn't supposed to be here.
Yeah, you're right. Harry Ainlay has really spent their life here. For 7 years, they've been in this championship game, winning 4 of them, searching for their 5th today here. And they are a perennial powerhouse across the province, and they're looking to do that again here today.
Now, staying on the Harry Ainlay side, being here 7 straight years now, what kind of experience, what kind of value does that experience provide in a game like this, in a big, like, every play matters type of game?
Well, so many of these players have now experienced big games, not only in the Metro Championship, but they've also experienced it in the provincial championships that they've been to as well. So each and every year, as a young player, there's going to be young players on this team that are going to be part of the Titans organization for years to come, and they're going to build that wealth of experience now for future years.
And then flipping onto the Kane side, they're very young, they're very inexperienced. I believe it was 3 or 4 starting D linemen are new to football altogether. So coming in, they've been playing amazing football. They really don't have much to lose today. You feel like maybe being here is already a huge success for the Blues. Can that benefit them in a way?
It can. Like you said, they've got nothing to lose today. You know what? They're taking on a great team in the Titans, but the Blues definitely are going to bring their best effort today, and they're going to challenge them. And again, trying to stick around in this game when one team is favored heavily, you really, as a player, you have nothing to lose, and you're really going to push the limits on your play calling, what you're expecting from those players. And so I expect a lot from the Blues today. I was talking to Rob Stryker, the head coach of the Blues, before the game, and he talked about how he has some special things in store for the Titans to see if he can catch them maybe off guard, maybe trying new things that he hasn't shown on film yet this year.
And I mean, they have the right quarterback to do it. James Hill, dual threat quarterback, leads the team in passing, obviously, and leads the team in rushing.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to talk about a lot of the threats both these teams have, but Alex Fairbank is a receiver he's going to look to early and often. And then, of course, when you have a dual threat quarterback, that's tough on defenses.
And now both of these teams have qualified for provincials. Obviously a city championship on the line today, but how much does this game matter for a team in terms of still building for a bigger championship game down the road?
Well, it's going to be both for these guys. They want to play their best today, and their best is going to be expected from the coaching staff, and also the coaches are going to want to call the best game. But at the same time, this film is going to get passed on to provincials, and as they work through provincials, so they're going to have to manage that really carefully as this game goes on, because you don't want to show other teams too much, but at the same time, both teams want to put their best foot forward, and of course, they're going to want to win today here at Clark Park.
Anthem and coin toss coming right up, and then kickoff right after. Metro Athletics Car Conference Championships, Kane Blues and Harry Ainlay up next.
As well as honor elders, the keepers of all both past and present. And now the national anthem sung for you today is by Miss Melissa Bradler from Harry Ainlay.
Beautiful job of the national anthem here at Clark Stadium. Kane Blues, Harry Ainlay Titans. 1 game left in the Car Conference. So, as we kind of get ready for coin toss here. Always so much going around football. This is our fourth game of the day here. This is actually the second time these two teams have played this year, Rob. Last one, a 38-7 win for Harry Ainlay.
Yeah, and they know that coming in, but they also know that that was earlier in the season. This is a championship game, and they still got to come out and they've still got to execute and play, and they've got to win today, because that win means absolutely nothing to Harry Ainlay unless they can repeat that today. And of course, as Paul Kane, their coaches, prepare them for this game, you know, they want to make the players believe that Harry Ainlay is beatable. Right? They haven't been beat this year, but Harry Ainlay is beatable, and they have to believe that. And if the players believe that, they give themselves a chance today.
How does an underdog team like Paul Kane come up against Goliath in Harry Ainlay and pull off a win today?
Well, I think they need to do the same thing they've done coming into this game. They upset a team last week in Bev Facey to get here. No one expected them to do that. And so as a coach, you start to talk about that storyline like, hey, you know what? No one expected us to be here. No one thought we were even going to be this far into the playoffs. But they are. They're here. They're also getting ready for a provincial run. But it starts here today and getting this team ready, because this is a great measuring stick for Paul Kane as well. You know, we talked about Harry Ainlay in the program and the times they've been here. They have a solid program. They've built a really good foundation, and they just continue to turn out championship teams year after year at different levels. And so Paul Kane continue to work on that, building that program. I mean, I remember it wasn't too long ago where they were back in these types of games and in championships games, and they've done fairly well over the years in different divisions. And so now they're with the big dogs in the top tier in the Car division, and they're looking to show why they're here tonight against the Harry Ainlay Titans.
Now, for Paul Kane, it's not as if they have no championship game experience. I believe they were in the Tier 2 championships last year, so maybe they'll be able to draw back on a little bit of that today. Now, I've played a lot of sports through my life, and I've been on both sides of the coin here. You're coming in as a heavy underdog, and you're coming in as a heavy favorite. So for Harry Ainlay, is there any trick to being the heavy favorite? Because every now and then you can kind of come in and you can either push a little too much, or you can kind of reel back a little bit.
Well, usually as a coach, I would come in and I would come out and be aggressive. I want to establish our team and ourselves early on both sides of the ball and in special teams, and you're going to look to kind of impose your will on a team that you should beat on this day. And as Paul Kane, they're going to come in and say, hey, you know what? We can hang in with these guys. We can do this today. It's that belief factor. And if you have the belief, it's possible, because you know what? All underdog stories start with an underdog. And so this could be one of those tonight.
It'll be Harry Ainlay and the Titans offense receiving the opening kickoff.
And in our intro, we had a good chance to talk about Paul Kane. They've got Hill and Fairbanks quarterback receiver combo. Harry Ainlay Titan has their own call bell in Galbraith and St. Hilaire. Two great athletes performing at a very high level right now.
Kickoff in the Car Conference Championships. It's a good boot. Going to go to the end zone here, boy. We might have some points early. It will be returned out of the end zone. That's Jacob St. Hilaire. St. Hilaire makes a man miss, going across the 20. It's still a great kickoff there for Paul Kane, but what a job there by St. Hilaire just to get decent field position out of it.
Yeah, the athlete we're talking about plays receiver. He's also a great returner. You can see from there, deep kick, which is great for Paul Kane. Again, forcing him back. Great return, but as you said, good field position for Paul Kane's defense with a long field to defend here. And here comes, as you said, Harry Ainlay Titans offense with lots of weapons. We'll have a chance to talk about them throughout the course of the day.
Jacob Galbraith, starting quarterback for the Titans in the shotgun. Some motion, it'll be an early handoff here. A run up the middle by Ben Scoter. Gets good yardage, about 7. Set up a second and short.
Yeah, Ben Scoter is the leading back on their team. This year, he's had 53 carries, 541 yards, an average of 10 yards per carry, which is phenomenal. Also pitching in with 5 touchdowns on the year. So definitely an opportunity for them to impose their will. The offensive line imposing their will in this run game.
Looks like 2 backs in on the play, each to the sides of Galbraith. They're going to go to the air. Over the middle, it's caught. Big play early by Bishop Adenyi will give a fresh set of sticks to the Titans.
And it was actually, they actually subbed their quarterback out, so that was actually number 4, George Arbez. And so again, I saw their starting quarterback, Galbraith, come to the sideline, and again, had to find the number once he got on there. But again, different quarterback in. Now they've got Galbraith back in, so obviously comfortable using both quarterbacks.
Titans take it at the 50. Handoff. Another run up the middle here for Fracciello. Still on his feet. He'll get to about midfield and then pick up about half the distance.
I mean, talk about the ability to impose your will, and so much of that happens in the trenches of a football game. The offensive line versus the defensive line, moving bodies around, and you can see a little bit of a size difference there. You know, Harry Ainlay's got a lot of athletes, a lot of big population at that school, and they just pulling guys out of the hallway, getting them playing football, and you can see, we're going to see that battle all day long between the offensive line and the defensive line of Paul Kane's front 7 right now. Looks like they got front 8. They got lots of guys in the box, mirroring Harry Ainlay's packed backfield.
Little confusion here on the formation for Ainlay. Another handoff. Making a man miss was Ben Scoter, able to pick up a couple yards, but he'll be well short of a first down.
Well, he's putting his coach in a position to make a decision here. It looks like it's about third and 3, 3rd and 4. Looks like he's sending out what is likely his special teams punt unit to punt this one away.
And that is exactly the kind of start that you feel like Paul Kane might have needed in this game.
Yeah, giving up a couple first downs, been able to hold them there on second down to minimize that gain. Interesting formation that we saw from Harry Ainlay with the packed backfield. We'll see if we see that later today on those short and second and mediums.
They're going to fake on the punt, running to the left and picking up a first down. Huge play by the linebacker, Sam Metcalf. Well, it was a 3rd and 4 from just about midfield. That's the right spot to do it. Titans pick up the first.
Well, you could see the early motion, and Paul Kane didn't necessarily adjust to that early motion to that side. They really just out-leveraged him at the point of attack. Early risk taken by Harry Ainlay. Again, that could have really handed the momentum back, but instead they captured some momentum by executing that play to perfection, getting a nice gain for a first down.
And they're walking the ball back here. Might be a flag on the play. Oh, no, sorry.
I think it's where they ruled him out. Again, he kind of tight-roped that sideline quite a ways there. It was hard to see, but someone must have got that foot down on the white stripe on the sideline.
So the Ainlay offense now gets to stay on the field from the Paul Kane 47. Galbraith, quick peek to the left. Had a man open for a second and couldn't quite find St. Hilaire. It'll be a 2nd and 10.
Paul Kane did a good job on that short side of the field, dropping into the flat. You can see, I think it looks like number 3 dropping underneath that little hitch on the wide side. And again, because of that, St. Hilaire had to float down the sideline, and he just needed to get a little bit more on that. But trying to hit it between a flat defender and the deep defender is a challenge. And if it comes late, the defenders may see that and have a chance to break on the ball.
Ainlay needs the full 10. Galbraith booting out right. Throws near the sideline, and it's out of the reach of his intended receiver, Cian Lamson. That'll bring up a 3rd and 10, and the punt team back onto the field.
So Lamson, another target they've seen this year and used a lot. Harry Ainlay's got a number of receivers kind of in the top 15, 16, 20 in the Car Conference. Lamson was 13 catches this year for 171 yards, averaging 13 yards per catch, pitching in a couple touchdowns over the course of the year. So again, Harry Ainlay has a lot of athletes on their offense that they can go to when needed.
Lachlan Begg back onto the field to punt it away. Didn't touch the ball last time as they had faked it. And this time they will snap to Begg. No fake on this one. He's going to angle it towards the sideline. Bounces down inside the 20 and received. Paul Kane looking to set up a return. They bring it across the 20. And the Harry Ainlay offense, the Paul Kane offense rather, will take the field.
So not a great kick with a lot of air, but that ball is probably getting colder as the night wears on. You see there he did a good job of fielding that, getting what he could, made the first man miss. Again, giving himself decent field position, kind of the same field position Harry Ainlay started their drive in after that long kick, but they've got a long field to go, but we're going to get a chance here to see for the first time tonight Paul Kane's offense.
James Hill in at quarterback. As we talked about in the pregame, a dual threat quarterback leading the team in passing and rushing. Handoff out to the left. That's Cameron Coyne, and he's going to be tackled for a loss.
Well, in good team pursuit, you can see how that play developed to the outside. You can see the speed of the Harry Ainlay defense just getting to the edge, mirroring that. And you can see there's one guy at the front and just there's too many guys in that space, and so Paul Kane's going to need to get some blocks to create a little bit of a seam for their back. So now they're facing with a 2nd and 12 now.
2nd and long for Paul Kane. John Harley in the backfield. Blues will go to the air. Quick pass out to Fairbank. And good yardage there for Paul Kane. They were able to pick up about 12 of the 13 yards they needed. And they are right up near that first down stick.
Fairbank doing a good job finding the spot in the zone, and he's found him on his outside shoulder, turned up. He's going to be short. So big play here for Paul Kane if they decide to leave their offense on the field. Fairbank, 17 catches this year, 264 yards, an average of 15 yards per catch, cashing in on 1 touchdown as well. Great athlete in Fairbank. I actually had the chance to coach him in the Golden Bears Selects program this past winter, but a real good student of the game, really studies football, really understands space, and you can see it on that play there.
Heavy package in for Paul Kane. Huge play here. 3rd and inches. Handoff up the middle. Looks like Paul Kane's going to have it. They do.
Something Paul Kane doesn't want to see. Number 1, limping off to the sideline there. That's not good news for them. He's their leading receiver. Again, you don't want a weapon like that off the field this early. Hopefully he mends whatever happened in that pile. But you can see in that run play, they brought the receivers into a bunch package on the right-hand side of the line to try to create that running room. They got enough for the first down, but they've lost one of their receivers, at least for now.
Couple gambles going either way to start this game. Tons of motion here. It'll be another sweet play out to Cameron. Coyne gets tackled. Short gain, maybe a couple.
A little better job getting guys out in front. You can see they've got some motion from the backfield. Lots of guys coming. Hand it to the second guy. And he's just going to get upfield. He's going to find a little bit of space. But again, that Harry Ainlay defense, you can see one guy containing on the outside to make him force him upfield. And then the pursuit just caught him for the short gain.
2nd and 7. Hill booting out to the right, taking a look downfield. Had a receiver for a moment just out of the reach. And that will bring out the punting unit now for the Blues.
So that's the other dynamic of a game when you have a mobile quarterback. You can see he's going to get out of the pocket, he's going to get on the move. But throwing on the move is not as easy as throwing from the pocket. And he just missed, not by much, right on the sideline there. But great coverage by Harry Ainlay. Again, forcing them now to a 3rd and long, likely looking at a punt situation, which they've got on the field. But the first punt situation we saw today was not a punt, it was a fake. So we'll see what Paul Kane has for this special teams unit, Harry Ainlay's punt return.
You told me they'd probably have a few tricks up their sleeve for today's game, just inside their own 40. Not going to be any here. Good punt away here, forcing St. Hilaire to backpedal inside his own 30, and that one's going to roll out of bounds. Good punt there for Matteo Paglioso.
Yeah, great job of finding the space, and the returner's up a little bit tighter. He did a good job of getting it over his head. So now twice in a row, I would say, special teams for Paul Kane, their kicking units are actually doing a great job helping them out with field position. So they're on the punt, of course. They've got him just inside their own 30. So again, defense back on the field. Again, not a long drive by Paul Kane, only the 1 first down that they got. So this defense is going to want to see if they can get another stop here against the Harry Ainlay offense.
I had Paglioso listed as the punter, just the kicker though. This is actually James Hill, the quarterback, on the punt. Run play here for Harry Ainlay. Tons of room up the middle, and right near the first down marker goes Ben Scoter.
Again, coming back to that run game, again, just moving bodies. You can see the offensive line doing a great job of getting downfield. And when you can see here, just a huge hole, huge wide open hole. And if that's the type of holes your offensive line are going to produce, you're going to see a lot more of the run game.
So you mentioned they've gone to their second quarterback already once today. And they'll make another switch at quarterback here. I believe that's Arbez in. Arbez on a 1st and 10, going to take it himself across the 40, trying to spin away from a tackle, and a good job holding on there by the Paul Kane defense. Arbez goes for a gain of 4.
So in running through the Metro stats, Arbez, who's the backup quarterback that we're seeing on the field right now, is I think 8th in the CAR conference for rushing. So a little bit more of a running quarterback, 33 carries, 276 yards, 4 touchdowns, an average of 8 yards per carry for him. So we talk about that dual threat quarterback. Well, Harry Ainlay has 2 quarterbacks, each bringing different elements in. And on the first time he got in, he actually threw the ball downfield. So great quarterback, able to do different things.
Galbraith back into quarterback, but as you see, Arbez still on the field motioning to the right. Galbraith looking to the right, has a man open just over the head. They were looking for a Denny.
Yeah, Denny just cut his route a little bit short. We'll take a look here on the replay. He gets wide open in that soft spot of the zone. He's got to take it where he just slows his feet a little bit too soon. If he would have taken another 2 steps, 3 steps, he probably secures that. Maybe takes a shot, but would probably had a completion there because he had him in the space, and that's where you got to continue your route. Don't cut it off short. But again, resulting in a punt situation, not necessarily a punt. We'll see.
Lachlan Begg, 1 punt on the afternoon. This one not going to go too far here, angled right towards that Paul Kane sideline. And that might have went off the side of Begg's foot. This is going to be awesome field position for the Blues.
Yeah, it's about a net gain of about 12 yards on the kick. And so, you know, maybe one of the reasons why, hey, if it's 3rd and short, we're going for it. We saw it earlier in the game by Harry Ainlay. Maybe just not finding their groove on the punt team, so they may be looking at more punt fakes. And again, that's going to kind of tip their hat a little bit to Paul Kane's defense to be wary of that and be aware of that, because so far we haven't seen a lot of yards gained on the punt.
Good field position here for Ainlay, starting on the 54. Rather, Paul Kane starting on the Ainlay 54. Run up the middle on first down, going to go for 3 yards.
We see some slot motion here to draw the edge out, and that's Fairbanks. Glad to see him back on the field, and again, coming downhill, just getting some yards. So again, yards are really tough right now for Paul Kane. They're having a hard time generating yards against this big, strong Harry Ainlay defense. So we'll see if they go back to the air like they did last time on 2nd down.
2nd and 7. Hill out of the pistol. Another handoff up the middle here is absolutely nuts by that Harry Ainlay D-line. A gain of maybe 2 will set up a 3rd and 5.
When Harry Ainlay, you could see on the replay, did a great job of filling the holes and making contact at the line of scrimmage. So the gain gets limited to only a few, but that's a great job by the linebacker. So there's 2 things that happen when you play with that box play is your defensive line need to understand their responsibilities and their gap control, which gaps they need to be in, and then the linebackers understand where the spaces are going to come in. So they did a great job there filling in those gaps, and that's what you try to teach young linebackers in high schools. Instead of kind of letting them come to you, you got to commit to what your eyes are telling you. You step into the hole, and then you make contact there. And even if he finishes the run going forward, which is what you teach those backs, you're going to have an opportunity to stop them for a very short gain, and that's what they did right there, stopping them for only a few, now facing a 3rd and 6, just over midfield. So we talked about the field position battle as well. Paul Kane in special teams is winning that. Their offense is going to need to generate some more yards to see if they can stick around in this one. So far they are doing a good job. Again, their defense is standing tall against an offense that's full of weapons.
Player down on the play is Sammy Dumoulin. He'll get some help from the trainers off the field. So 3rd and 6. Looks like Paul Kane has the punt unit back on.
Or do they?
You never know. Like I said earlier, they do have a quarterback standing at punter. It's kind of a wrinkle in the high school games that can come into effect really any game you comment or that I commentate.
Well, and so often you're keeping your athletes on the field, right? And so some guys will play both ways, multiple positions, including special teams.
This actually might be Lattimore. It's hard to see the numbers on the shoulders sometimes with the blue on blue. We'll say it's Lattimore on to punt it away for now. He's going to angle it to the 35. It went off of a player. And Ainlay's going to get a bit of a return. There's a flag on the play, probably in a no yards. Kind of an awkward return there.
I think based on what I saw, yeah, that is Lattimore who's doing the kicking there. And again, you can see here, I think it goes right off of the back legs of Paul Kane's player. Yeah, you see right there. So that's going to be a no yard. So this is going to be net minus yards.
No yards. Number 12, 15-yard penalty.
So they punted it with the ball spotted at the 50. And guess where Harry Ainley's getting it?
Right on the 50. There you go. So a net of 0 for Paul Kane. So again, a good reason why a coach made you think I'm going to go for it on 3rd down next time. But here we go. Ainley's on the offense.
Galbraith will start at quarterback. Handoff, another run up the middle. Ainlay is getting a ton of yards up the middle from Ben Scoter, just running between the tackles.
We're going to spread the field out. They got 4 receivers out to the right, or 3 receivers out to the right and 1 on his way out there. So there's a lot of movement in the backfield to widen the edge. And when you widen the edge, that allows for space in the middle. But Harry Ainlay is just moving bodies on the defensive line of Paul Kane. And they're creating those holes, or running holes. When a running back gets 2-3 yards past the line of scrimmage before there's any contact whatsoever, some good things happening.
Arbez in a quarterback, a handoff out to the left. Acello's going to get it and pick up the first down. As I said, Arbez back in at quarterback. This isn't exactly something foreign to the Canadian game, Rob. I think about Chris Trevler on the Bombers a few years ago.
Yeah, for sure. Different quarterbacks with different skill sets in different positions, and clearly Harry Ainlay is happy to go with either. The other thing it does is if someone happens to get hurt, you have someone who's game ready, right? And that's the nice thing. And again, I think both these quarterbacks can throw and run. Sure, we got a little bit of different skill set, but that's an advantage to the offense when you can do different things with different players, and especially at the quarterback position.
Arbez under center. Handoff, another one up the middle. Ben Scoter breaking free across the 30. It's a race to the end zone. And a tackle made at the last second by Josh Mott, but a huge pickup for the Titans.
Well, that's the quick hitter. You can see him already in motion before the snap, and they want to get through that line. And once you get through the front 7 of the Blues defense, now it's a secondary responsible. So a touchdown-saving tackle there. As you can see on the replay that it's keeping Harry Ainlay out of the end zone for the moment. We've got zeros on the clock. This, barring a penalty, may be the last play of the quarter.
Galbraith, the quarterback. Quick flip out to a receiver. Adenyi going to get a short pickup there to about the 10.
Great timing on this. You can see the snap is a little high into the outside, but he does a great job of catching that ball, getting it down, and not making the receiver break stride. Did a good job, though, Paul Kane on the edge there. Again, when you come lateral, you want to shut down that edge, and that's what Paul Kane was able to do to force him upfield, forcing a second down. And as we switch ends here, Paul Kane is on the move in the red zone, looking to get the first points of this game.
Still no score through one quarter, but Harry Ainlay knocking on the doorstep. So no score through one. It'll be a 2nd and 5 from the 9-yard line to open up the second quarter for Harry Ainlay.
Well, Harry Ainlay's second quarter has been their best all year long. This is where they really put it to some of the teams they've played against. We'll see what they have here in the second.
Going to the air, to the end zone, has a man! Touchdown! Liam Pickenin opens the scoring.
And you know, what a great catch. Taking contact. He took a huge shot here as he looks inside. He sticks it into a very small window, takes a huge shot. What a great job of retaining possession. Again, he thought he did. The back judge thought he did. What a good job of just taking contact. That's a receiver who's been there in crowded spaces, holding on to that touchdown. Extra
point is up and through. Harry Ainlay takes a 7-0 lead.
So back to what we talked about with some of the coaches earlier. Harry Ainlay does a lot of damage on offense. They really use the second quarter well, and they're effective on it. This one, a lot of work done in the first quarter, but they're putting it in the end zone here on the second.
Only the one angle. But yeah, Pickenin, from that angle at least, did look like he held on to it. Back judge had a much better view than we did.
Well, and he had the angle that we didn't have, and from the front end you can see, but again, right near the post, a lot of crowded areas. Hey, as a receiver, what do? You sell it. You sell it like you caught it no matter what, because often you don't even know if the ball hit the ground. He did a good job of containing that, scooping it up, keeping it tight to his body, standing up with the football, got himself his touchdown.
Paul Kane awaiting the return. Good kick here. Going to be fielded inside the 5, off the fingertips of John Harley. Harley taking it outside the 15. And a great special teams play for the Titans.
Yeah, we've got two great kickers in this game. Lots of hang time on that. And you can see here, although he did kind of fumble a little bit, once he picks it up, look at the white jerseys that are all in his face. So again, he did a great job of getting some breathing room for the offense here as they start inside their own 20. But once again, Paul Kane is going to need to find a way to get this offense moving a little bit.
They're going to take their quarterback Hill for a run, and he's met behind the line of scrimmage. Jaden Weiser with the tackle.
Well, not only did Weiser get the tackle, but he actually made the play prior to the tackle. He was able to beat two blockers from the offense of Paul Kane, have the running back slow his feet, and as he continued, perfect position. What a great edge play there.
2nd and 15, pass over the middle. They have a man open. He's going to be a few yards short. And we'll see if that was enough to keep the offense on the field.
I'm not sure at this field position. I'm not sure if Rob Stryker is going to take the risk and go for it on 3rd and what looks to be at least 3.5 yards. So out comes the punt team. And again, last time they netted 0 on their punt between the penalty for the no yards, which hit the cover guy, the gunner, in the back of his leg. So again, not his fault. Really unfortunate for Paul Kane on that one. We'll see. Hopefully this punt for Paul Kane can be a little bit more productive to buy himself some space here.
Yeah, it's more of about a 3rd and 4 than a 3rd and 2 or 3. So Paul Kane's punt unit back on. They're not going to get a ton on this kick either. Waiting for the ref to spot the ball here. They're going to spot it, I believe, at the 35, 36. So a net of just 12 yards.
Well, the gunner that time, you could see coming down the field, started looking for the punt a little bit more, knowing it's going to be angled off to the sideline. So again, great field position for Harry Ainley's offense to start here.
Galbraith, another handoff, a run up the middle. What else is new to start this game for Harry Ainlay? And another pickup of 6.
I think that was a different back as well. I'm trying to catch a number. Ben Scotter was out there lead blocking that time. So again, he's getting his touches and other backs getting their opportunity. Again, that's the advantage of a deep roster with talent, as everybody stays fresh.
Ben Scotter in on this one. Flags on the snap. Usually against the offense.
Yeah, I think they got the defense, but Harry Ainley's receivers were early as well. I'm not sure if they crossed the line.
Offside on the defense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Yeah, I can see on the right side of the screen, the receivers stopped before they crossed the line, and it definitely was the Blues that were jumping. So again, giving them a free 1st down is not something that Paul Kane's going to want to do a lot tonight. This Harry Ainlay offense is on the move, and any free yards is only helping that cause.
Fresh set of sticks just inside the 25. Galbraith looking to left, off the hands of a Blue. Will count it as a pass breakup, though, for Cooper McQuaid.
Well, they had a one-on-one matchup down here on the side, and the linebacker does a good job of dropping underneath the slant route. He's just got to secure that. And those are the plays as an underdog team. You got to make those plays when the plays happen, because they're not going to happen often. And they need to make those plays. So opportunity missed by Paul Kane there, facing a 2nd and long for Harry Ainlay.
Galbraith out to the right, going to the end zone. One-on-one jump ball tipped in the air and falls to the ground incomplete.
Had a couple Harry Ainlay Titan receivers in the area. Again, Paul Kane, Blues player, able to get his hands on the ball first. But again, you can see here, Harry Ainlay starts to take off down the field. This ball actually hangs in the air a little while. The other receiver is coming in, almost gets himself a nice little touchdown just on the deflection there. So We're going to see for the first time today a field goal unit.
32 yards. If you watch more professional football, 32 might seem like an easy field goal. Never in high school, so we'll see what kind of a leg Begg has. Begg puts it up and makes it look easy. Right down the middle.
Yeah, left-footed kicker too. You don't see a lot of left-footed kickers out there, so good job, great execution, really perfect kick there. Good job finishing off the drive with some more points. Again, this offense, kind of a win for the Blues, though, on defense when you think about it. Again, they got the ball inside their territory. Very, very short field for Harry Ainlay. And to be able to not give up too many yards and be able to hold them to a field goal attempt. Great field goal by Harry Ainlay, getting some more points on the board. Again, we're talking about that second half domination. Right now, it's 10-0, all in the second for Harry Ainlay's offense. And so we'll see Paul Kane's offense back on the field. We'll see what they have.
Blues will take it, 1st and 10 at the 35. Down by 10. Feels like their offense has to get something going. Be a quick handoff out to the left side. Joshua Mopp. Probably the best first down gain of the game for Ainlay. They'll pick up 8 or 9. Set up a 2nd and short.
Well, definitely a great first down gain. You can see lead blocker out in front. Offensive line by Paul Kane really stymieing the defensive line there, and again, it's forcing it into the secondary. So when your secondary is making tackles, that's not always a good thing because the box is not containing the backs. But great job there of getting blockers out in front, getting great first down production.
Need a couple. Another handoff up the middle. Harry Ainlay's right there. And the Blues aren't going to get the yardage here. They needed the 45. They'll mark them at the 44.
Yeah, they're going to get about half of what they needed, which is not a lot. Less than a yard. Now they're less than a yard again.
Actually looked like maybe a generous spot there. I thought they had it marked at the 44. Where they have the ball put down, they've moved it up about another foot or so, and it's a 3rd, and they just need to get the tip of the ball onto any part of that solid white line, and they'll have a first. This hasn't been easy for the Blues. Quarterback run here. Hill up the middle, and he's going to have it.
Well, it's always an interesting dilemma when you're like 3rd and really short, which they were there, less than a yard, probably half a yard, to put your quarterback in a shotgun position. You can see there, he's already 4 yards deep from the line of scrimmage, so he's got to make that up. But he does a good job of execution up front. It seemed like Harry Ainlay didn't really pack the box, so left a little bit of space in the middle for Paul Kane to execute that.
Ball at the 47. Hill's the leading rusher. That's, I believe, his first rush for positive yards of the game. A quick flip out to the right. They find Fairbank, and he's going to pick up 6-7 yards on first down. Blues offense starting to find a bit of a rhythm.
Well, Fairbank was the guy in motion here. You can see he's actually looking to his receiver, but the linebacker does the same thing we saw in the last drive by Paul Kane. They had dropped a guy underneath there, so Fairbank just continues on his motion, finds a little bit of space out there to get some yards on second down. So good job of Harry Ainlay taking away the slant by the wide receiver who was in isolation on the boundary side of the field. But again, good job of improvising and getting some yards.
2nd and half the yardage to go. Pump fake. Pulling it down is Hill. Tons of pressure. Hill threw a stiff arm and runs out of room. It'll be a loss on the play for the Blues, and it will set up a 3rd and 9.
So again, they take away his first read. Could have thrown that hitch or the hook there. But again, once he had to roll out, just couldn't find enough space because everything was compressing down. You can see into the sideline, and there's just no room. So he had to run out of bounds. The other option would have been to maybe throw it out of bounds and save himself a few yards. But nonetheless, 3rd and long. Paul Kane back into a punting situation.
So it looked like the Blues might have had something going there, but instead it stalls after just 1 first down. Punt unit back onto the field. They've been struggling here today. There was a flag on the snap, and a much better punt here for the Blues will be taken at the 35 by the Titans. Tons of speed on the return for St. Hilaire. Well, we'll have to check the flag. That's going to be important because where that return is for St. Hilaire, it's only going to be a net difference of about 6-7 yards again.
Yeah, I think Ainlay may have jumped. We'll see here.
And if anything, this is a huge flag for field position. But we'll see. The initial indication is against the Titans. We'll see, though, if this might bring the Paul Kane offense onto the field. It'd be a 3rd and about 4. And decision time likely for the Blues bench.
Yeah, the others. See what's going on. It looks like the offense is coming back out. So this is whereas like the underdog.
Offside, defense, number 33. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
This is whereas you're an underdog team, you're going to take a few more risks. Mid of the field, maybe not always the opportunity for 3rd and 3. Not sure if you go for it, but they're obviously going to go for it. They need to take some risks. They need to keep this offense on the field. One, give their defense some rest, but they need to try to get some points here in the second as it winds down.
Ainlay's D-line has been pretty dominant so far. Tons of runs for the Blues, just going for a yard or two. They need 3 here. They're going to throw it. Hill taking a scan. He'll take it himself. Makes a man miss. Has the first down across the 50.
And that's the dual threat quarterback we talked about at the top of the show. Again, doesn't like what he sees. Ainlay's doing a great job dropping into coverage. He just takes off and finds his seam. Does a good job of making one guy miss right there, and then finishes running forward. So mobile quarterback pays off, gets himself a first down, keeps the offense moving.
You know what I like there from Hill is a lot of the times these mobile quarterbacks in high school, they'll make a decision really early on whether they should be running or throwing. He did make his way through a couple reads there.
Yeah, he went through his progressions, you're right.
Hill, quick pitch, run to the right for Ainlay. And not much room there for John Harley, if any at all. They might have got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, at the point of attack, Paul Kane is just struggling. You see first contact looks good, but then the defenders are just falling off their blocks a little earlier than you would like. And so again, it's about body position when you're trying to block a guy, understanding the timing of where the back is going. And Paul Kane just needs to get their hips around a little bit more, create a little bit more running room on the edge there.
Second, and we'll call it a loss of 1, so 2nd and 11. Hill throwing again. Scanning, deep. Nobody there for Team Blue, and that one will fall incomplete, out of the reach of everybody.
Yeah, and whether that was a miss route or a misread, you can see the wide receiver here down on the bottom is going down the field, but he ends up angling in. So I'm guessing the quarterback anticipated him to push that seam back to the outside. So Ainlay did a good job of funneling him to the inside, and often you're trying to get an outside release. You want to go outside because the free safety's coming across the field. He can make a play if it's thrown down the seam. So not sure where the miscommunication was, but ball falls to the turf. 3rd and 11.
That'll bring Lattimore back onto the field. Low snap, Lattimore corrals it, and he will angle this one towards the sideline inside the 25. Room for St. Hilaire to return. Running right to the 35. And that'll be all for the Titans.
Well, I know why the Blues continue to angle it to the sideline. St. Hilaire is such a dynamic receiver, returner back there. Again, he's had a couple returns, looking to break one tonight. Does a good job of fielding in the air. Is key number 1 for a returner, and then getting the yards he can. But he's got the speed and athleticism to get to the edge, so Paul Kane's going to want to make sure they contain him throughout the course of the game.
This feels like a big drive here. Just a 10-point game, 4.5 minutes left in the second. You get a stop, you get the ball back, you have some time to score, but if you give up a touchdown here to the Titans, you're looking at a 3-possession game here. Run out to the left for Ben Scoter. Has the angle across midfield, pushed out of bounds at the 42.
Well, on cue, you called it. This is a big drive. Harry Ainlay goes to their back. Ben Scotter again, 2nd in the car conference in rushing, and you can see why. Great blocking out in front, does a great job exploding down the sideline, exploiting the edge of Paul Kane's defense there.
I don't know where field goal range is yet, but with the leg on Lachlan Begg, they're already probably on the doorstep of field goal range here. Another run up the middle. They remitted the line of scrimmage, but a huge push forward for the Titans is going to get them 7 yards.
They just move in the pile. You can see he kind of jumps into the pile here, and again, just it starts to move and keep your legs churning, and that's what you try to really instill in your linemen is just, they can't just pop a guy once. They've got to maintain that block. They've got to drive their feet. Harry Ainlay did a great job creating some extra yards on that run.
And Ben Scudder is a powerful runner. This time it'll be the quarterback. Draw Arbez across the 25. Ainlay keeps moving the sticks.
Well, using their backs, using their quarterback to run, did a great job here. Again, right behind Ben Scudder, lead blocker, takes on the backer there. Again, frees them up to get into the secondary once again. So this running game of the Harry Ainlay Titans proving to be too much right now for Paul Kane, whether it's their backs or whether it's their quarterback doing the work.
Galbraith back in at quarterback. Screen over to Ben Scudder, has some room. And tackled about a yard short of the first down, but regardless, another 9 yards on first down for the Titans.
We talked about the average passing yards of this quarterback, and he does a great job of finding different ways. And this isn't a downfield pass as you would traditionally think, but a nice little screen pass. Lots of Harry Ainlay Titan guys out in front making blocks, so he does a great job there. It's his average. He's 64% passing average. So again, high percentage of passes are getting completed. When you make simple passes like that, screen pass, that's helping your quarterback out. That's definitely another element to your offense that Paul Kane needs to defend.
Arbez into the game, might be 3-down territory here, second and a long one. Arbez looked like he was going to sneak it, hands it off instead, and there's some room down the left side for Urchello into the end zone. Touchdown, Titans.
I was going to say on the lineup, they line up really, really tight. You can see there's tons of space on the edge, and he makes one guy miss there, and then off to the end zone he goes. So, Paul Kane needs to still respect the edge on those short down yards, especially on second. Like, I understand third down, you're going to pack them, but you've got to make sure you take care of the edge. And because they spread so many receivers out, they didn't have enough guys to contain the edge. Took advantage on the 2nd and 1, just running to the edge.
Bag on for the extra point, trying to make it a 17-point game. Hold is good, kick is up and right through the middle.
So you talked about how important that drive was for both teams. Harry Ainlay able to capitalize on the drive and get up now 17-0. Paul Kane not feeling good about themselves. Again, the second quarter has been big for Harry Ainlay all season long. They've done it again here, putting up 17 points. And I say this so far, there's 2:35 left, and Paul Kane's had a hard time moving the ball on offense. They've had moments of space and they've created opportunities, but they're going to need to do a better job on this one because, again, a quick 2 and out here. Harry Ainlay scored pretty quickly on the last drive.
It's been a Titan avalanche, like you said here, Rob, in the second quarter. Up 17-0. And Paul Kane's going to have 2.5 minutes with the ball to try and break a shutout in the first half. Return comes outside the 25. And James Hill will start and try to get this Blues offense going.
Well, and they've got to make sure they get some first downs here. Again, you don't want to kind of use the clock at this point in time. You want to move the ball, but they definitely need to take some time off the clock with this offense, if not to see if they can get some points before the half, but definitely to keep Harry Ainlay's offense off the field because they have the potential to score quickly.
3 receivers out to the left. It's to set up a screen, and that one's dropped. And that one was right on the verge of a lateral pass there, but they'll call it an incompletion.
It was definitely close. Close as a coach. You'd be like, jump on that ball. We'll see here. I think it actually was a pass. That was so close. So close to a lateral. It got very fortunate there for Paul Kane because, again, he didn't jump on it. But great eyes on the field calling that one incomplete. We'll see what they have here on 2nd and 10.
Few receivers out to the right. They're going to get Hill on the move. And now a throw. He was targeting Fairbank and it went off his hand. And now with still 2.5 minutes left about, the Titans going to get the ball back again.
Well, again, a receiver is just not getting open in the timing that the quarterback's looking for. Again, you're back to a punting situation, but even a 20-yard net punt here is still going to give Harry Ainlay the ball inside Blues territory. So they're going to need to get this punt off, get the cover unit downfield to limit this gain.
The returners, both St. Hilaire and Spencer White, are standing on the Paul Kane side of midfield, just outside the 50. Lattimore to punt. This one will be fielded by St. Hilaire. Went off of him, he dropped it, and that one's gonna roll out of bounds harmlessly. I think there's a couple Titans here looking for a no yards flag, and I believe there is one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he took the risk to come up and get that. Didn't see the flag early, but it's definitely on the field now.
Penalty.
So this is going to be the major because he did come up. We've talked about that before. Punt returners getting up, getting in on those short kicks. Does a good job, although he didn't catch it. He still made the play, got the 15 yards, no yards. So again, we talk about net yards on punts for Paul Kane right now. There's another one. I don't know exactly where they were. But again, that was, I think, a negative yard play for them. Ainlay's in great shape to get more points here.
Paul Kane needs a stop here. Arbez, run to the right, cuts up field. And another good first down run for the Titans, picking up 6-7.
Well, Ben Scotter gets his fair share of runs. He does a great job of sealing the edge. You can see he turns that corner, double teams the defensive lineman there by Paul Kane, and just creates tons of running room out to the right side.
Titans need to get it just inside the 20. Arbez still in it. Quarterback is going to go to the air. To the end zone! Caught! Jacob St. Hilaire! Touchdown Titans!
Well, we talked about it with St. Hilaire and that connection, and he goes right to it. He's got man-to-man coverage down on the side, and he just runs right by him. Again, he cuts it a little bit short. What a great job. Dialing his eyes into the ball, maintaining good focus as he finishes that. St. Hilaire doing damage here with his first touchdown on the day. Again, talked about his numbers, 28 receptions, 538 yards, good for second in the Car Conference this year, showing why he's a threat downfield on that touchdown grab.
Begg on for the extra point. Begg is a good name for a kicker, by the way. He's got like 7 natural nicknames in there. Begg leg, we'll call him maybe.
Yeah. Again, great execution. Takes work to get that done. But what a great ball placement, a perfect ball thrown on that touchdown pass. Talk about just laying it out there, letting your receiver, knowing where to go. He threw that way ahead of the receiver. You can see here he's thrown it like there, it's gone now. And it's way deep into the end zone. He just sticks with it. But what a beautiful throw. You teach your quarterbacks on that outside release, fade route or go route, is just let it on the outside. He just gets it perfectly to his outside shoulder. You can see there, just sealed him off. What a great job by Harry Ainlay. Really putting it to Paul Kane now up 24-0.
So the scary thing is here is Paul Kane's last drive only took about 10 seconds with 1:49 left. Titans could still get the ball back again. Titans will get a chance to return this one, and they're going to get it to the 20-yard line, and nothing more.
Well, and we're seeing in this first half why Harry Ainlay is one of the best teams in the province this year, vying for a provincial championship after this championship weekend for Metro Athletics. And Paul Kane obviously going to have their opportunity at a provincial championship as well. There's 2 different levels of tier at the top kind of level in high school football, both going to different provincial championship runs. We'll see how this one finishes.
Blues go to the air. Caught. No, not caught, rather. That ball hit the turf. They ruled it incomplete, and a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, we'll see. It squeezes it in there. He almost had the catch, but again, very, very small window. You can see them closing in on him. It comes out, so they rule it, instead of a catch and a fumble, ruled a no catch. He didn't have possession because the contact came real quickly. That would have been even more disastrous if that ruled a fumble.
Blues need 10 yards. Hill, pressured, got it out in time, nearly picked up. But a very athletic play there by Liam Pickett to break that one up.
Well, what a great job just reading that play. You can see here, we'll watch this thing develop again, coming to the flat, backers flying out there full speed. That just spent too much time in the air, and maybe a good thing it was in the air, because if it was a little bit more on the line, he may have been walking in for 6.
Punt unit back onto the field for the Blues.
Well, and the Blues are just struggling. Their offense can't produce the yards they need to keep Harry Ainlay off the field. So we're going to, barring a turnover here, we're going to see Harry Ainlay's offense back on the field, up 24-0.
Still a minute and a half on the clock, and the Blues here.
It's a good thing he got into the end zone. Because the field has the soccer lines. You can get confused sometimes. It's all the white lines we're looking at, but that soccer line is so bright there. If he doesn't get far enough, takes a knee on the 1 yard line, it's absolutely disastrous. So good job of Paul Kane with 1:34 left, giving up only a couple there, and opting to at least make it a long field for Harry Ainlay.
Yeah, I don't hate the call there, because there's still a minute 34 left. And the average on these nets is somewhere between 0 to 10 yards for them right now. Instead, Harry Ainlay has to take the ball at their own 35.
At least it's a longer field, but they've moved the ball in short order today, so we'll see what Harry Ainlay does here.
Hasn't necessarily been the big play for the Titans so far. Just a few plays over 10 yards, but they're rushing consistently for 8, 9, 10, 11. And it'll be another run up the middle here for Ben Scoter. This time a pickup of 5 takes him to the 40. And that'll set up second down.
When you talk about the average carry, Ben Scoter averaged 10.21 yards per carry throughout the course of the year. So that is phenomenal for a running back. You think every time you hand him the ball, he's averaging 10 yards.
Averaging a first down.
Yeah, I mean, why not run the ball every time?
They'll look towards him again. This time, running out left, and this time the Blues have him stopped here, a couple yards short. That'll take down the average a little bit. And it'll set up a 3rd and about 2. Interesting decision time.
Well, I think with the way the defense is playing and just containing the Paul Kane's offense, why not keep your offense on the field here? Even if you don't get this, it's been tough slugging for Paul Kane.
Quarterback sneak. Arbez stretching. That's where you got to be careful. I think they're going to give him the first down. That ball was hanging out there for a good second, though.
It was. He wanted to make sure. He didn't really get it the first time, but again, that little extra effort only made it by about 6 inches.
Yeah, got it by a football length. Looked like Arbez got stopped initially. And then that ball was out there for a while.
Yeah, no Paul Kane guy able to just scoop that. I was like, oh, thank you, leading that ball out there. Take that, and off he goes to the house. Boy, would that change things.
I will say, though, 2 hands on the ball there for Arbez. Back into the game is Galbraith. Looked like he was going to go deep. Instead, hits the check down. Found Adenyi for a couple yards.
Yeah, again, lots of time in the pocket. He's just standing in there. He's a great job protection here. You can see just Paul Kane just taken care of. Ben Scotter in there helping with the protection, just buying himself lots of time. Paul Kane had pretty good coverage to force the check down throw there just for a yard and a bit.
2nd and 8. Galbraith, quick look out to the right, finds St. Hilaire, has running room in front of him. And a great play there to shed the block by one of the Blues corners. Looked like it was Riker Lattimore making the tackle.
Well, a little wide receiver screen out to St. Hilaire again, blocking the corner, making the halfback come over, make a play again, facing another 3rd and short. I mean, we're 3rd and short today is like anything less than 5 yards. These guys are keeping their offense on the field, trying to move the balls. This one's 3rd and about 2.
They'll need a little bit more than midfield here. Like you said, Rob, this has been easy for the Titans so far. Ben Scoter in the backfield. They'll give it to him. Met behind the line of scrimmage, and the Blues get a 3rd down stop. 22 seconds left in the half. Still some time to work out the offense as well.
Well, they bring everybody into the box, and again, kind of in cover 0 in behind, man-to-man, just making sure they have an extra box player. Worked well for Paul Kane there. So, yeah, turnover inside of Harry Ainlay territory. But with only 21 seconds left, Paul Kane needs to find a way, one, not to take a risk. They just need to get some momentum. Like even one first down here will build some momentum that, hey, we got to get something going here in the second half.
So we'll see what the Blues look to do. Hill's going to go to the air. Has some time. Steps up across the 50, across the 40. Hill still going down to the 35. Big gain, though, about 18 for Hill. 13 and about a third seconds left.
Well, and again, making his read downfield, doesn't like what he sees, takes off and finds open space. Now he kind of came out hobbling just a little bit there. We'll see. Paul Kane calls the timeout to stop the clock. We took a real good shot there on the leg. He's kind of just hobbling a little bit. We'll see. I'm sure he's not coming out of this one, but making their plans for 13 seconds left. First down. It's right around the 35.
So it'll be a 42-yard field goal from here, if that's what you're looking at for Paul Kane. I do have Matteo Paglioso listed as a kicker on my roster. It's always something you look at in high school football. Do they have a kicker? Do they have a defensive back that goes in there and kicks?
He's usually playing in another position a lot of the time. Not always, but a lot of the times just can be a little boring on a high school team as a kicker if that's all you're doing. So usually they're practicing at another position. Usually they're playing in another position. Seen all sorts. Sometimes I've seen D linemen as kickers at some point. Got 4 receivers here to the boundary.
Hill looking to take it himself again. He'll shot left forward. It's intercepted. Sam Metcalf, the grade 11 linebacker, with a huge play.
So dare I see, we've seen this a few times from Elks quarterbacks over the course of this season. That one right to the defender. Again, not seeing the pursuit coming. We've seen that a few times this season here in Edmonton. Unfortunately for them, the turnover happens right there with 4 seconds left. Likely the last play, but again, defense for Harry Ainlay coming up once again.
4.6 seconds left. Wonder if they have the arm here on Galbraith to take the shot. They're going to go over the middle. They have Arbez, a quick pitch backwards. And there's zeros on the clock.
A little hitch and ladder there. We got again had the spacing a little bit off here. Again, trying to get St. Hilaire underneath, so he's got to adjust. He runs upfield, flips it back, trying to get the little trickery there going. See if they can get him into open space, but nothing doing there for Harry Ainlay. But they've done a fair bit of damage with 26 points already in this first half. Paul Kane unable to find the end zone or a field goal, still sitting at 0.
Titans are doing Harry Ainlay Titan things. Up 26-0 headed into the break. The Sport, Physical Activity and Recreation branch of the Ministry of Tourism and Sport with the Government of Alberta is a funding provider to the ASAA. The funds received from this area of the government are put towards enhancing the quality of life for Albertans. Quality of life pretty good right now for the Harry Ainlay Titans, heading into the locker rooms up 26-0 at halftime. Metro Athletics Car Conference Championships. Paul Kane Blues and Harry Ainlay Titans. We're back for the second half of action. So far, Rob, Harry Ainlay doing everything they really could have done to close in on another city championship.
They really have, up 26-0. The stats tell the same story. Harry Ainlay has been 177 rushing yards on the day to 49 for Paul Kane. Through the air, they've gone 86. Paul Kane, 22 net yards, 263 to 71. Total offense, 263 for Harry Ainlay, which means they're not taking any losses. Paul Kane taking some losses. Their net offense has only got them 42 yards. So the clear challenge for Paul Kane going into the second half is find a way to move the ball. Some individual numbers in the first half. Ben Scotter, 9 carries on the ground for 99 yards, averaging 11 per tote. James Hill, quarterback, leading the rushing with 3 for 28. Through the air, Galbraith was 8 of 12, 86 yards for 2 touchdowns. James Hill, only 2 of 10, 22 yards. Alex Fairbank catching 1 of those for 12 yards, the leading receiver for Paul Kane. Jacob St. Hilaire targeted 4 times, catching 2 for 28 yards. And Bishop Adonai shortly in behind, 2 catches, 24 yards. So 7 receivers for Harry Ainlay catching the ball in the first half. That's great distribution of the football. Paul Kane needs to find some of that for themselves to see if they can get their offense moving here in the second half against this stout defense of the Titans.
Paul Kane will get first crack at it. Goose egg up on the scoreboard right now. They've been able to cross midfield a couple of times, but not much more so far for the Blues. Kickoff in the second half of the Car Conference Championships will be fielded at the 10 by Paul Kane. Trying to go no angle there as another special teams play is made by Weiser.
Yeah, again, keeping the ball on the ground, not a lot of hang time, but again, bouncing around, have a little bit hard time just getting those bouncing balls as a scoop and score. But again, you'll see he looks up and 4 or 5 white jerseys right in his face. Not a lot of running room there on the return, just getting outside of his 20s. So again, back to really the story of the first half. Starting deep in their own end for a number of situations. They have not been able to find a way to get out, and they've had to turn the ball back over to Harry Ainlay in great field position. We'll see what they talked about at the halftime and see if they've got something going here.
So we talked at the halftime, Rob, and I asked you, what does Paul Kane have to do here to start to get the ball moving? You mentioned just maybe getting a little bit more through the air, and then I said, well, one of the few areas where they've had success is running the ball with Hill. However, they do have a little bit more to think about, and there was an interesting point you brought up as they pick up 7-8 yards. They have a little more to think about going forward. You don't necessarily want your quarterbacks taking all the hits today.
No, you definitely don't. I mean, Paul Kane has punched their ticket into the ASAA Provincial Championship playdowns, and so they will have a spot there. And again, they don't want to risk anything in this game. Of course, they're coming to play. The starters need to get the reps, and they need to find a little bit of a groove going into playoffs. But at the same time, you don't want to lose some key players in this game, which is right now 26-0.
It will be Hill running the ball. Ends up picking up a few, spun up field, and falling right around where they needed. And it will be a first down, Paul Kane.
Well, and that's step number 1. Generate a first down, do a little bit, and then just need to continue that. So we'll see if Paul Kane comes with a different attack. They've used the run game again. It's hard because when Harry Ainlay's using different quarterbacks, different backs, so they're getting very fresh legs all throughout this game, where Hill's really carrying the load right now for Paul Kane.
Hill, another run up the middle, has some room around the right side. A first down and a lot more for Hill, crossing midfield and out of bounds. Huge gain.
Well, and that's the danger of the mobile quarterback we talked about. That's the perfect run for a coach. He's like, hey, take off, get some yards, and get out of bounds. He doesn't take a shot there, but that's the mobility in his arsenal of tools that he has as a quarterback to get outside. Does a good job getting to the edge, not taking a shot there. Now looking to start here in Harry Ainlay territory.
I believe that's a gain of 26 on the run there for Hill. Quick sweep, flag on the play. Run out to the right side is going to pick up 5-6 yards. Got it out quickly there to Josh Mott, and we'll check the flag.
According to the Ainlay bench, it's going back against Paul Kane. maybe
Ainlay
not.
bench is wrong. And already here in the second half, you mentioned 42 total yards on offense. Paul Kane has already met that on this drive nearly.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. That's what it's a sign of a team really trying to dig deep, finding things to do in the second half. Okay, what's not working? How can we expose the defense? How can we take advantage of something in the defense? And so Paul Kane's found a way to get a few first downs, and looking at 1st and 5 here after the penalty.
Another run up the middle for Hill. Not a ton of room. He's going to bounce it out left. Hill now trying to find the angle. Well, there's a speedy player there. My goodness, Jacob St. Hilaire. Hill's going to pick up the first down, but what an impressive tackle there for St. Hilaire.
Well, St. Hilaire, again, typically they're returner, receiver, but they bring him in secondary. They play in a lot of cover 2, and so that's the edge. You can see him coming out of nowhere.
He's off the screen.
There he is coming in. So again, he's got the speed to burn, does a good job. Does a great job trying to get that ball out too. So again, covering lots of ground. So you can see Harry Ainlay is just trying to keep everything in front of him as a defense. You want nothing over the top. You don't want to give him any big plays to try to gain some momentum. You can see St. Hilaire lined up there at free safety for this defense.
Paul Kane with the ball at the 41. Quick pass play, and timing was off on that one as Fairbank turned around a couple yards late.
Well, and that's your depth of your route. You gotta figure that out. And again, Fairbank's a little bit behind the line of scrimmage on his release, but again, he pushed that to about 8 yards, and it seemed like that's the depth these guys run at. I've seen that in the first half. He caught one earlier, just maybe thrown it a little bit underthrown there. He's got to plant his foot and get it to his receiver because he's open in that zone. And when you have a zone, Fairbank will find the space in the zone.
2nd and 10, big down here for the Blues. Hill flushed out of the pocket. Can't find anyone downfield. He's going to take it himself. Has a few yards here, and he might have ran 50 yards back and forth on the play. He'll end up picking up about, well, it's a good gain of 7. At least.
You can see Harry Ainlay on the replay. They're only rushing 3 guys, so the secondary is just littered with white uniforms, and there's just no receivers open. They're staying tight to their guys, so just not allowing it to happen. So he's got to take off and go. And when you only rush 3, there is some running room there that he was able to take advantage of. So 3rd and a few here. See if they can keep this drive going inside of Harry Ainlay territory.
We've seen some Elks quarterbacks run like that this year too. 3rd and we'll call it 2. Hill pitches it, and Blues have the first down. They found Fairbank on the pitch, and the Blues putting together a really good drive here to open up the second half.
It is great execution here. They make a great read, put the D lineman in a tough position. Do you take the quarterback who's a dynamic runner, or do you take Fairbank outside? And so again, they opted to take the quarterback, make the pitch. Great job by Paul Kane moving the sticks.
Ball down now at the 27-yard line. Down by 26. It'll be tough for Paul Kane, but you never know. Seen crazier things happen in high school football. Hill on the ground again. And not much there. They're going to be able to move the pile forward a couple yards. And down finally at the 25.
You can see here the double team at the point of attack doesn't maintain the block. There's too many blue jerseys not stuck on white jerseys there inside the box. And again, a push of the pile got him a couple, but not very many. Tough slug in there in the middle of that Harry Ainlay defense.
Not the first time on this drive that the Titans have been stuck in a 2nd and long. And they've found ways to move the sticks so far. Will they be able to do it again? Hill has some time. Never mind. Breaking free was Crownatoro. Picks up the sack for the Titans.
Well, you can see here speed off the edge, gets the hands down. Great little swim move that buys him the space. Again, you can see great use of hands by the defensive lineman coming speed off the edge. Does a good job of getting to the mobile quarterback. Not an easy quarterback to pin down in the backfield with his ability to run, but they did a great job there. Just too quick off the edge.
Blues are going to keep their offense on the field. At the 30, might be out of field goal range, too close to the end zone to punt it. Hill looking downfield, taking a shot, has a man, and he got turned around. He was targeting Aiden Bradford.
Well, and he was wide open there too again. The deep coverage was already in the hash when this ball was released. He just slowed his feet, couldn't quite get it. Again, he's got to keep running to space. Again, bring that ball down or run to the open space. What a great shot there. You can see wide open in the corner. He had what he wanted. The opportunity was there. Just unable to do that and get it going and get it to the end zone.
I believe there was a flag on the play.
Roughing the passer maybe. Yeah, roughing the passer. I think they got a late hit in. So the drive continues, but no touchdown. So Paul Kane has got a few more shots here to get this into the end zone.
So 1st and 10 for Paul Kane at the 15. Run up the middle. It's going nowhere. Suplex City over the middle for Dang Aguak. Picks up the tackle for loss.
You can see here again, penetration into the backfield. He gets in the backfield. The offensive lineman just didn't stop him. And what a great job of wrapping up the back and not letting him go anywhere, taking a loss there on 1st down.
Second and long. Like I said, Blues have found ways to move the sticks. Hill bouncing around the pocket, trying to keep the play alive, and he's taken down. Another sack for the Titans.
I think the pressure is starting to get to him again. He's pulling it down. We talked about earlier how he kind of went through his progression. You can see he took one look there and that was it. He had to get out of the pocket. Too many bodies. And again, you can see there as he's scrambling out. Good job by the DB of containing the edge. Again, he gets to the edge, he's dangerous. Now they're facing a 3rd and long.
They need 13 yards. They'll need the 5-yard line. 3rd down. Hill. Flanked out right. It's a one-on-one run. Hill has the angle. 1st down, I believe. Inside the 10.
Well,
what a run for Hill.
Knowing he's got a parental run to stay in, man, he is just taking shots here, but what a great job of scrambling. 3rd and 12, he's got to beat one guy. You can see he used a little bit of a stutter step. What a great job of using his speed and change of speed to get enough space on the edge. Looking at a 1st down here inside the 5-yard line. Let's see if Paul Kane can break that goose egg and get some points on the board.
It's Paul Kane's first trip into the red zone. The ball's at the 4. Quick flip. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Paul Kane. Cameron Coyne breaks the goose egg.
Well, finally, their motion to the side and their blocking out in front pays off. What a great job executing this play. Perfect timing, little flip there. You can see the backer didn't see him because the congestion in front of him, wasn't able to adjust to the edge, and the speed was too much. So great job of Paul Kane. Again, you think back to that play, the roughing the passer Harry Ainlay took. Again, it was an incomplete pass, although a guy was wide open. Missed the touchdown there, but the roughing the passer gave him the 1st down. Paul Kane able to execute and get that ball in the end zone for a major.
Extra point is up, man, right through the middle. 7 points on the game now for Paul Kane. Well, that drive started at the beginning of the half. So 7 minutes and 6 seconds on the drive. I believe it went for 90 yards as well. And, well, whatever, 13, 15 plays. We don't have the numbers on it, but that was a long, drawn-out drive for Paul Kane. So here's the question I have for you, though, Rob. They score the touchdown, but they spent 7 minutes doing it. If you're the Titans, are you kind of okay with that?
You know, I think they are, yeah, and you can see their defense. You can see the Titans' defense is actually playing a little bit differently. They're dropping softer. They're keeping everything underneath because now they're playing the clock game. And again, you know, for Paul Kane, you just needed to score. It didn't matter how long it took. They needed to get some points on the board. But Harry Ainlay seemed to be happy with just sitting back because, you know what, Paul Kane is having a hard time stopping the Harry Ainlay offense. So if they come back and put a drive together, we're going to be into the 4th quarter before we know it. But I was going to say, as that drive wrapped up, I was like, I think this is the longest actual drive in high school football that I may have ever seen.
I mean, there was multiple 3rd downs on there. Only one flag, I think, on that roughing the passer. Maybe there was an offside earlier as well. So maybe just a couple against the Titans there. That was long, methodical. Ends in a touchdown for Paul Kane. Good boot here, but it's going to go out of bounds. That almost got in the end zone, but it went out of the 3.
Yeah, again, big leg on that young guy there. What a great job of getting it down. Just took the wrong bounce at the end of that. Instead of bouncing in, it bounced out of bounds. So Harry Ainlay's offense going to get all the way out at the 40 here. Great, the best field position off of a kickoff so far. Last time I think was the opening kickoff in the game when the Titans started around just outside their 20. So on the 40, here they go.
Paul Kane needs a stop. Now down by 19. Galbraith. Short of the receiver. He was looking for a Denny. Now remember, for this Harry Ainlay offense as well, they haven't touched the ball in a while. I believe they had the last possession of the first half. They had all of halftime, and now don't touch it again until under 5 minutes left in the second half, or third quarter rather.
We can see him trying to find the soft spot in that zone there right in front of the free safety. He's got to gear down just a little bit earlier. His quarterback anticipated him, and he was going to start fading behind that linebacker.
Galbraith to the air again, has St. Hilaire in first down territory. Wrapped up by Mudzana, but more than enough.
You can see him on the bottom of the screen just driving his guy off. He's got to respect the deep threat of the slot back, and so he just settles it down, finding his space inside the flat defender. So good job by St. Hilaire, reading the zone, finding the soft spot, good delivery, good timing. They're on the move.
Ball at the 53. Galbraith, out left, has another completion. In first down territory, receiver turned back into second down territory, we'll say, but ends up finding some room over the middle. Another first down for the Titans.
So with Paul Kane dropping into his zone, this is just simply flooding zones, and you can see they got a flat receiver and they got a slot receiver. They're both sitting there about 8-10 yards. Kind of comes back, almost loses a first down, and then finishes going forward. But this is at the halftime. We talked about what does Paul Kane need to do. This is what they need to do. Is they need to come out and do what Ainlay's doing. Just move the ball down the field. Now they put a nice drive together. Now Ainlay, it's their turn.
That was Liam Pickanen on the reception. Hasn't touched the ball a ton today, but does have a couple big receptions, including a touchdown. Another catch over the middle. Adenyi in traffic, pulls it in. Harry Ainlay is doing whatever they want right now.
Well, they're doing a great job attacking the middle of the field. You see the cover two. Again, that's what you want to do, but they're leaving some guys open. So when you can attack the middle of the field on a cover two, when they have two guys deep, you want to send three guys down, one down the middle and two down the edge. And if they tighten down too much in the middle, like we're seeing them do because they're getting exposed, they're going to look to go to the wide receivers. So we may see a deep shot here if they continue with this cover two look, which we're seeing from Paul Kane.
Ball on the 25. This time they'll hand it off. Ben Scoter, there is a flag down as the ball was being handed off. Head official threw the flag, and we'll have to check it.
Let's see if we can get the call. Don't see them marching one way or the other. We'll see.
Run only might have went back to the line of scrimmage there anyways, and they are marching the ball back.
He won. Repeat first down.
So 5-yard nature procedure on Harry Ainlay. We'll move it back and 1st and 15.
So is that a procedure there where
I don't know if they didn't have enough on the line. I'm not sure what happened. I didn't really see a movement from the offensive line, but they saw something. The flag came out right at the beginning there.
1st and 15 now for Paul Kane. Wonder if the Blues might have rather that play just stood, as they're going to have another completion here for Liam Pickanen. Short of the sticks, but a gain of about 10.
You know, Harry Ainlay's being really decisive. You can see here on the snap, he's got his 3 receiver combo here to the field. And again, just settling in behind. So the inside receiver draws the flat defender out, and then you bring a curl right in behind. They're doing a great job of exposing that zone, just moving the ball down the field.
3 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right with the back. Go to the air again, and another completion to Pickanen. Inside the 10.
Well, Paul Kane's trying to keep everything in front of him. Unfortunately, there's just too much space. You can see they got 3 deep defenders. The halfback is really, really soft. And so again, when you see that, he's like 10 yards deep on the snap, just get a few yards, and Harry Ainlay's just moving the ball down the field. So looks like they're inside the 10, looking like on the 9-yard line. So got a series here inside the red zone. See if they can get a touchdown.
Galbraith, quick handoff. Some running room. Trip down at the 2-yard line. There is a flag on the play. Adenyi nearly breaking the goal line.
See a little bit of holding. I don't know if that was the flag there or not, but see what the officials have to say. Give us the last word. They always get the last word, those officials.
Is that coming from a coach, right? Now I'm going to ask said coach what that signal means.
Half the distance to the goal. I think it was just offside. Offside on the defense, going halfway to the goal line. So instead of, they would have been a little bit closer. Second and like 1 or 2. They're first and about 4.
Must have missed the offside. I'm looking off into the distance, looking at whatever I want.
Once they get down to the end zone, it's hard to see where guys lined up, if they jump, if they get into that 1 yard on our neutral zone.
Another handoff, another touchdown. Matteo Acello, the grade 12 running back, finds his way into the end zone. And the Titans regain their 25-point lead.
Well, this run game continues to be dominant in creating space. You can see there fullback, or Ben Scotter, not a fullback, but again, the lead blocker through the hole just creates more space, which was already created by the offensive line. So great shot there, double team at the point of attack. Again, nobody else there to make a play. Good job of exposing that seam in the box there, getting into the end zone.
Extra point is up and good. Ainlay just picked up 70 yards in the span of about 3 minutes on that touchdown drive.
Well, almost burning the rest of that quarter. Again, you think only one possession for each team so far in this quarter. Again, Paul Kane getting a little momentum, scoring that touchdown coming out of the half. Great execution. Good job of moving the ball. It took a lot. It didn't take Ainlay much, as you had mentioned, to get the ball down the field. Short passing game, a little bit of run mixed in, and Ainlay is operating at a high level right now. Paul Kane lined up to receive this kick with 1:13 left in the quarter. Again, Paul Kane's offense ready to get back on the field.
How long you guys staying out there for? Till Sunday? Till Sunday, yeah.
Last drive. They're staying out there till Sunday. I don't know where they're going.
I'm not staying till Sunday.
Kickoff taken at the 20. Running start here for the Paul Kane kick returner. And that one will be taken just outside the 30.
Not much better return that time. I think they've been inside their 20 or close to their 20 every time. But you can see the back just flying up there, just coming up real quickly, catching it in the air. And that's what you want. And again, you can see the difference in that return. Again, he catches the ball on the fly, looks up, and there's blockers in front of him. Good job by the return team to set up the blocks and get a little bit better field position out at the 33 for Paul Kane to start this drive.
Last drive went for a touchdown for Paul Kane, and it was a lot of this. Hill on the ground again, on the run, this time no gain.
I think they are looking for a little swing pass to the back. You can see there, number 18 just sliding out to the field, but again, Harry Ainlay was out in front of that, couldn't get the pass there. I didn't feel like he could get it safely there, so he had to pull that one down. So Ainlay reacting well to the motion they're seeing in the Paul Kane backfield.
Second and long, about 12, 11 maybe. Hill, deep drop back, looking to set up the screen. They have a man. It's John Harley with some space across the 45 and takes a huge hit at the end. Delivered by Kean Lapson.
Well, great speed, great explosion after he caught that screen. Did a good job of setting it up, really dropping back, sliding underneath the defensive lineman, and then guys out in front. Again, Ainlay reacted well, but not soon enough to stop them from the first down yardage.
Lamson lowered the boom.
That was good contact down there, right in front of the bench. A little rise out of them.
Ball at the 46. Paul Kane's offense has found something here in the second half. Another handoff and a run down the right side. John Harley, another good pickup on first down.
Yeah, you've got the slot motion across to widen the edge. You didn't really get a wide on the edge. I wouldn't mind see them coming back to that a little bit. If they had the opportunity, you could see again. So wrapping up that quarter, we'll see if Paul Kane can keep the offense moving down the field.
That'll do it for the third quarter from Clark. 33-7, Harry Ainlay will be back right away. Second and 5 to open up the fourth quarter for Paul Kane. Hill flushed out of the pocket again, finds a receiver on the check down. Behind the line of scrimmage, pushing the pile forward. Still going forward. And did Paul Kane get there? They're right at the sticks.
They definitely got close enough that if they didn't, coach is likely going for it here. I think they may mark him less than a yard short. But what you see here is you want to get him out in front, let him lead him a little bit there. He had to come back, but he did a good job, and then you can see it's all him. I was going to say, this guy's pushing the pile, but really it's him pushing the pile himself, just driving those legs. What a great effort there, just moving that pile to give their team, their offense, an opportunity here to execute on this third down and real short.
That was Cam Coyne on the pickup. Stopped about 4 yards short and pushes forward for another 3 yards. Big play here for Paul Kane. Snap is low. They can't get the handoff off. Juggled by Hill. And Ainlay gets a stop.
So again, just a little bit too much time in the backfield trying to corral that snap. A little bit low, like you said. Had to get it off the turf. Couldn't quite do it. Again, they had decent blocking up in front, but the pressure off the edge because of the bad snap and unable to get that up quickly caused that turnover on down. So Harry Ainlay's offense back on the field after a well-executed drive in the third quarter. You're going to see them back out here looking for more points.
10.5 left to play in the car championship. Harry Ainlay in control, looking for more. Quick handoff on the fly. Denye, tons of yards, down to the 30, there is a flag.
I think this flag's going to bring this one back. I think it's holding here down on one of the receivers right on the point of attack. Too easy for the ref to call this one. You can see here, right at the bottom of our screen there again, lots of jersey going on there.
Will be a hold on Harry Ainlay. Will set up a 1st and 20 back in their own territory.
So looking to get a couple chunk plays here, medium down to make second down reasonable. Harry Ainlay's gone to the short passing game, and again their run game has been pretty effective as well. And you know, when you're averaging, your lead backs averaging over 10 yards a tote, well, on 1st and 20 you can run the ball if you want.
It's nice when you have the talent to keep that playbook all the way open no matter the situation. Galbraith, quick over the middle. They're going to pick up the yardage to get back to the line of scrimmage and a little more. Liam Pickenen is making his mark in the second half.
Well, he's doing a great job of finding the space. You can see he's dropping his hips in his route, which is what you want to see. Just settle down right in the zone. Good job of timing and spacing executed to perfection there to take basically a race most of those 20 yards. Got a 2nd and 3.
And a 17 for Pickenen. Wonder where this one's going. With Ben Scoter in the backfield. I knew where it was going.
Too easy.
And
Too easy as this
another first down.
Offensive line pushing people around on the field.
And Ben Scoter, he's a powerful, powerful runner. Sometimes though in high school, Rob, you see those powerful runners and they don't have the same agility. Looks like we got a full, well-rounded running back here though.
We definitely do. He's doing a great job of taking contact, breaking the first tackle, but he also has the explosion to exploit space in the secondary.
To the air. Off the fingertips of Adenyi Arbez in at quarterback for that one.
We talk about the mobile quarterback, able to come in, throw the ball. Again, he just fades. Your receiver fades a little bit too far to the inside. And again, you want to hook that defender and just slide slightly. He just continues to fade inside. Quarterback thought he was going to settle it a little bit earlier. Just a little bit of a mismatch there. But the space was there. The zone hole was open. They just need to get it to the right spot.
Galbraith back in at quarterback. Over the middle. This time they make the connection. Adenyi nearly into the end zone. Down at the 1.
Yeah, just stumbles. He caught it in traffic. It was a little bit of a tight window there. We're going to see here him coming from the right side of the screen, comes across. The DB almost makes a play on it, but again, as he turns, little stumble there on the turf. Couldn't quite get there. He's going to kick it himself for that one, but Ainley's set up nicely here on the 2-yard line.
Van Scoter in the backfield again. Galbraith's going to take it himself. Touchdown, Titans.
Wow, great play action. Good fake. Paul Kane stayed with the back as well. You can see right here a little counter action. Totally bid on it. Great read. Sometimes as a quarterback, that you have that read. You can read the edge man, and your read is that the edge man collapses, which he totally bid it on the play action. You just pull it, walks into the end zone. So great read by the quarterback. Good execution by the Titans offense.
Special teams operations remain perfect on the day for Harry Ainlay. Another extra point.
And Harry Ainlay is well on their way to the 5th championship of the 7 that they've been in since 2016. Head coach Tyler Greenslade and Brock Ralph, the offensive coordinator, have co-led this program together since 2015, and they're happy to have 7 of their former players on staff with them. And so a number of alumni coming back, pouring into the community that once poured into them as athletes. And so they've built, obviously, a great program. We've talked a lot about that tonight, and they're going to be off to their provincial run this year, falling just short last year. But Harry Ainlay poised for a deep run in provincials this year.
Kickoff fielded inside the 10. Paul Kane on the kick return. They'll bring it outside their 20 and nothing more.
Yeah, great coverage by the whole unit. It's hard to pick out any number in there, but good job of converging on the back, not giving him a seam, not giving him any space. So just outside their 20. Paul Kane's been here. They need to see if they can get a drive like they opened the half with here in the 4th quarter.
Just over 7 minutes left to play in this one. Quick pass to Fairbank. Picks up a few.
Again, a little swing pass, fake run, little swing pass, but great reaction by Harry Ainlay to get outside, limit the gain to only a couple.
Blues need 8. See if Hill goes to the ground again. This time he'll keep it in the air. Nice hands there by Cam Coyne to reel that one in. It won't be a first down, but an impressive catch nonetheless. Might allow the offense to stay on the field.
You can see the protection up front. It's really good. I mean, the Blues, again, preparing for their provincial run. Added an ex-CFLer, Tim Baker, as their offensive line coach this year. And story about Tim, him and I were drafted to the Eskimos in the same year. We ended up being roommates that year. And so he's been around Edmonton since he retired. Been working in Edmonton area in the business sector here, and again, I had a chance to catch up with him a little bit. Hadn't seen him in a number of years. He's also was drafted out of a school out in Ontario, but has made Edmonton his home. Former Edmonton Eskimo, helping out Paul Kane. And Rob Stryker, the head coach, has said has been a huge addition to their coaching staff, and the group that's showed the most growth this year is that offensive line, thanks to the help of Tim Baker working with those boys this year.
Timeout, Paul Kane. It really is a staple of just, I'd say, high school football in general, and a lot of the stronger programs have so much, you know, whether it's professional players or former players or coaches coming back to help out these high school football teams, and it's always good to see. Sports are so important in a high schooler's life. They were important in mine. I was a baseball player myself, but I feel like they don't just teach you. A good coach will do so much more than just teach you about the sport you're playing.
Well, you gain the life skills through sport. And I always say, we're coaching these guys, we're teaching them the X's and O's, we're teaching them how to catch and run and defend. But really, you're teaching them life skills. How do you put in work? How do you prepare for a football game? What in life are you going to prepare for? If you put in the time to prepare, you're going to be able to execute and do some great things. And so that applies to all areas of life.
Paul Kane on the punt. Be fielded by St. Hilaire. Fumbles it a little bit, picks it up on the run somehow, and takes it out at the 35. I mean, even for myself, talking about sports helping, there is a flag on the play, possibly in the area of no yards. I know I always mention it like once a week, probably usually when I'm getting yelled at by a producer rather. I'm always like, good thing I played sports because I know how to take it a little bit now.
Well, and it is about learning how to take correction. I mean, the reality is
Is a no yards here.
No yards again. This time the no yards was on the other side of the returner. The returner ran right by him to field that. So St. Hilaire getting up there again, having a tough one handling it, but stayed with it and was able to pick that up and draw the yards. So bonus for Harry Ainlay. Great field position. Again, talk about that net yards on punts. Not doing so well for Paul Kane today, and Harry Ainlay taking full advantage.
Harry Ainlay up by 33. It'll be a run for Arbez. Man, he gets going downhill, and he's downhill quickly. Big pickup on first, right near the sticks.
Yeah, great athlete when you keep both quarterbacks, or one quarterback at least, your mobile quarterback. You see the hole created in downfield blocking. Contact happens 5-6 yards downfield. It's a great running game right there.
Be something to watch for in provincials too. Arbez, when he's not in a quarterback, it's not like he's leaving the field. He stayed in as a wide receiver or slot back on a lot of reps. Yeah, I'm just saying, no reason to fully open up the playbook in city championships, but something to look out for when you got two quarterbacks on the field going into provincials. Oh, and that one's dropped.
Little too much time to think about that one. Sometimes those are the harder ones. You're wide open, you're waiting for it. You can see here he runs to the flat. Again, a little bit of later read comes to it. Looking upfield, looking for the defenders coming after him. So took his eyes off the ball a little bit too early, but he's going to have a still on the field opportunity here. 3rd and 1. Keep this drive going, coming from under center.
This time they will just push the pile forward. They needed more than a yard there, so.
Is that the tush push? Or we call that the tush push on air? I mean, the NFL has been super popular, a few different names for it, but just, hey, everybody line up, get low, drive your feet. You can see here, everybody's low, just driving.
Yeah, there it is.
That's it. That's
the tush push.
That's the tush push.
The most exciting play in football played out right in front of your eyes there, folks.
It's almost been the most talked about play, I think, this year in the NFL. So Harry Ainlay extending the drive.
Another handoff, getting some different players some touches here. Okoro Dudu gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe loses the yard.
Quick feet in the backfield. You can see Paul Kane, though. They're all over that. And again, good job of the DB corner coming up, shutting that down and limiting the gain to just a couple, losing a little bit there.
And now in the backfield for this rep will be Xavier Agien. They'll give it to him. And man, that's a good pickup there of 6 or 7. When your second and third strings are running downhill like this, you know you got a good football team.
Well, and with a mobile quarterback, and you can see on that play as the slot comes across the face of the quarterback, the defensive line can't collapse too hard on the running back because they know he can pull it. Arbez can take off, he'll get the edge, and he'll beat you on the edge. So they have to be disciplined on the backside of that run, which creates this space. So great execution, got a few yards, but not enough to go for it. Line up for another field goal.
Get another chance to look at, we're going to go with beg the leg on this one. From 23. Kick is up and right through.
Solid execution all day long, or all night long, I guess. We're getting into the night a little bit. This one's carrying on. We started a little late because we had a huge day of high school football. 4 different Metro Athletic Championships. Got a shout out to maybe the Metro Athletic staff for hanging around here. I was chatting with some of those staff that work in the office and work tirelessly for high school athletics in Edmonton, and it's been a long day. It's cool out, even when you dress warm. Chilly, but some exciting football today. 8 teams showed up here today to play and vie after the 4 championships. This year it got moved to Clark. Usually it's at Commonwealth, and I think the plan is to go back to Commonwealth next year, but at Clark this year, because of the outdoor ice. Took, I think, 8 days, they said, to take down that rink.
He'll pull it again. Does get a throwaway. Contested catch, and did they get it?
They gave it to him. Yeah.
What a catch.
Oh, great job going down.
I believe that was Aiden Bradford.
You can see he gets inside, breaks it to the out as he's running. Oh, nice job. Got his arms right under that as he was going down. So great job of staying with it, really staying focused. Takes so much focus to reel that in when you've got someone kind of draped on you there.
Run here for Hill, and he's met behind the line of scrimmage. Also, just kind of some housekeeping, I guess. I believe we are into runtime here with the Titans up by 36. Sometimes they change those rules for championship games, not talking about Metro specifically, but just kind of across all sports. But looks like we are into runtime here as we tick past the 3-minute warning.
It's a safety. It's actually a safety rule brought in by. It's governed by Football Canada, and they bring that in because of this. Obviously the safety of the players if it's a hugely lopsided game. And again, Paul Kane standing in there playing well, hanging in with the Titans for a little bit here today, but then it was just proved to be too much on this day.
That one well defended by Gavin Weiser. Called the Weisers names a few times today, Jaden and Gavin.
You can see again doing a great job of jumping on that flat route of the late release. It's great, real good discipline to be able to do that because you can kind of see the receiver or the back kind of start to engage at the edge of the line of scrimmage. Sometimes you're tempted to come up a little bit and you get caught, but he did a good job of just reading that, staying with it, and making a play on the ball. Again, a little risky throw when the linebackers are covering it that tight because there's not anybody around to make a tackle. He gets his hands on that one.
Lattimore back on the punt. Flag on the snap. And it's a pretty decent punt there for Lattimore. Fielded outside the 30 by Buki. He breaks free. And Buki into the end zone. And now we check the flag.
Yeah, the all-important flag. We'll see what this is. But again, we saw the dynamic returners, different returner in the game. Here does a great job of fielding this ball, but he takes on contact, so he gets nice coverage, steps up field, takes on contact from 2 guys, just keeps his feet, and then the explosion, the acceleration down the sideline there got him to the end zone, but looks like at the call from the official right here.
Offside defense, number 24. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
So a break there on the play for the Blues. And now that returner, who just ran about 80, 90 yards worth of east, west, and north, south.
Got to go back on. It looks like Paul Kane, 3rd and 7 or so, 3rd and 8, electing to still punt, but obviously going to repunt this one. I'm guessing, they got some different returners out there. His first set of returners were pretty tired, so they got the We got a different tandem out there.
Back to the regular tandem of White and St. Hilaire. High snap there. And a good kick there. It forces St. Hilaire to field it over his shoulder. Trying to find some room.
Speed to the edge.
To the edge. Throws a stiff arm. Now into free space. St. Hilaire trying to cut it back to the middle. And gets taken down at about the 50, but might have drawn a flag on the tackle as well.
Well, he had fielded a number of punts on the short side of the field and tried to hit that seam that we just saw on the return touchdown that was called back. In this case, he kind of steps up and he sees the edge, and so he bounces. He's got to use his speed, get to the edge. But great work. Would have been a net of only a few, but with the penalty now, it's like they're moving it up. It's going to be good field position.
Unnecessary roughness. Face.
Caught just enough of that face mask on the tackle.
They talk about the high snap, just a lot of airtime. Didn't cause them anything problems in the backfield, but great return and a penalty at the end of that one is pushing Ainlay already into Paul Kane territory as the winding seconds come out as it runs. As you said, it was in run time, 45 seconds and counting. Harry Ainlay's offense, a couple more plays.
Technically could just knee it out. Instead, they're going to pitch it, and it's on the ground. And the Blues look like they're on top of it. And what you don't want to see is a player down, and there is a Titan down away from the play. I believe they have ruled it Paul Kane ball.
I can't get a number on that one and see what that is, but as Paul Kane takes the field. Talk about this Paul Kane team. We talked to Rob at the beginning of the game, and a very young team. So they're really excited about the next few years in this team. Again, this is a great benchmark for them, playing one of the powerhouses around Alberta. Maybe, you could argue one of the top high schools in the country for a number of years.
I believe they're ranked actually second this year. I seen that earlier today.
Yeah, so very, very, very strong team for them, obviously. And Paul Kane working towards that with a young group. We talked about the defensive line, a lot of brand new guys to football. And then a number of other guys on their defense are just new to playing football, new to this team. So with a number of grade 10s on their defense is only going to be getting better. Obviously, they've got some veteran leadership. And Coyne, Fairbank, Mahill, Lattimore, all being great leaders on this team and going to lead them into their provincial run. But a whole bunch of young guys that need that leadership. And again, those young guys are the leaders of tomorrow for this Paul Kane team. So as they prepare for their playoff run, we're going to hope this injury is not going to impact the play moving forward. Obviously, we want everybody coming healthy out of this because both these teams are off to the provincial play down next 3 weeks. Some exciting football in Alberta through the course of November. 6 different levels of championship play over 3 weeks, culminating in Red Deer in the 3-week time where 6 championships will be played over 2 days for Alberta high school football.
Well, as you can see, the number's a little bit crunched up there, but I believe that's Chow Knight, the offensive lineman, who was shooken up on the plate. Under a half a minute left to go in this one. We will be in run time, so could be time for just a couple more plays here for Paul Kane. As the Titans look to close in on another Car Conference Championship. Paul Kane, though, going to go deep. Have a receiver open. Tackled inside the 10.
That's our guy, Alex Fairbank, again, leading receiver, showing you why. That time lined up, going deep, vertical, over the top. Got whistles going, but down the field in the wide receiver spot, just taking a shot again. Just staying with it, staying focused. What a great catch. 2 guys coming in. What concentration it took. I thought he was getting to the house, but great tackle there to stop him for what likely will be, I guess, a timeout was called. I'm going to get this last play in, 3.5 seconds. Paul Kane, again, trying to execute, work on execution. Not going to change the outcome of the game, but it's going to change the outcome potentially of them moving forward, of feeling a little bit better of themselves, being able to make some plays downfield, see if they can get this one in the end zone here.
Ball's inside the 10, one last play to go. Hill pressured from everywhere. And what a way to end the game for the Ainlay Titans. Clark Conference champions in 2023.
Wow, the way this game started, defense absolutely dominating. Finishes off in style with a huge sack on the last play when Paul Kane trying to get a few more points before this one gets wrapped up. But what a day for the defense of this Ainlay Titan, holding them to 7 points. And of course the offense doing their job on short fields, moving the ball with precision down the field. What a great tune-up for them going into provincials, and a great test for Paul Kane as they obviously chase their provincial championship as well.
Ainlay yet another win. 5 now in the past 7 years.
Well, and holding true to that second quarter domination. Again, going in 0-0, and then they just exploded in the second quarter to really put this one out of reach and continued that operation in the second half. You can see as the young men exchange pleasantries at the end of this championship game here on a championship Saturday with, do I say it? No snow. Isn't it wonderful? Championship Saturday, no snow. We had a little bit a couple weeks ago, and most of these teams would have played in some of the snowy conditions in the week, but it's since melted, creating optimal November football conditions. Nice clean turf. Gorgeous night here. I mean, gorgeous for this time of year.
Yeah, for sure. And provincials are happening in Red Deer here in a few weeks, and I'm going to hope that this weather stays the exact same. But, you know, I made a joke to you before the game saying that we were moving down south to sunny, beautiful Red Deer, and something tells me come provincials it's going to be anything but I'm no weatherman.
Well, you know, we've been, you know, unfortunately my high school team's been making runs into championships, and we've won a couple the last couple of years. So I've been playing, and we've actually had really nice Novembers to play in. And I was looking at the forecast, and it looks like it's going to be above 0, not quite double digits, but up near 6 and 7 over the next 10 days. So, I mean, at least first round of provincial playoffs will be nice weather, and maybe we can extend that a little bit further. But we've been really fortunate to play in some great conditions. We did Commonwealth a couple years ago when all the provincial championships were there. It was absolutely gorgeous. I remember guys were taking off layers of clothing, and so not tonight, it's cool, but definitely nice weather during the day, these guys, as they prep for their provincial runs.
What a win for Ainlay. 43-7, they take down Paul Kane. They'll be headed to provincials as CAR champions. We'll throw it over to the PA announcer. For Connor Toff and Rob Herron and the whole crew from ICU Live, thanks for watching. Ainlay wins it 43-7.
Metro Athletics would like to recognize the winner of the 2023 CAR Division Halliburton Award for the most valuable players. Each team nominated one player for the award, and coaches voted on the division winner. The nominees for the award were number 2, Joshua Manning from Austin O'Brien, number 2, James St. Clair from Marion, number 10, Cameron Point from Paul Kane, number 22, Stephen Polyak from Beth Tracy, number 4, Christian Thomas from Jasper Place, number 92, Carson Hartman from Salisbury, and number 7, Dawson Hunter from Spruce Grove. The 2023 CAR Division Halliburton Award winner is Jacob St. Silver medals along with the championship trophy banner. At this time, we would like to present the CAR Conference finalists, the Paul Kane Blues, with their silver medals. champions Harry Titans in the third round match. And now we would like to call the captain of the conference champions, the Harry Ainlay Titans. The please come forward and accept the championship trophy and banner. We will have the trophy and the
I heard the Ainlay was I'm checking. Thank you, thank you, like I'm on the cover of the weapon. Thank you, like I'm on the last seven. Ooh, very important, very essential. I might be ready to create potential. Yeah, this way I heavy, I
It was awesome.